guys, it's Stock Curry and 2022 is upon us. In this video, I'm going to let you know what you can expect for this week, this month, and this year, and I'm going to let you know how to play it. Plus, we've got to talk about those Tesla delivery numbers. So let's get into it! Okay, first of all, let's talk about the cryptocurrency markets. Now, I have been seeing a little bit of a rise in cryptocurrencies over the past few days, but overall, the trend is still down. There is one cryptocurrency that I'm still seeing trend up, and we'll talk about that one a little bit later in this video. But for the most part, I'm seeing cryptocurrencies continue to trend downward. And that includes all the major cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Shiba Inu, Dogecoin, you name it. They're all trending downward right now. So regardless of the rise in price that we've had over the past few days, we still have not gone bullish on any of the technicals. So just be aware that everything remains bearish right now in cryptocurrencies. The one thing I do want to say is that recently cryptocurrencies have been trading pretty much in line with the stock market, just with a much higher volatility. So if the stock market does go up in January and February, we could finally see a rebound and a bull run in cryptocurrencies. So despite everything being bearish right now, there's a chance that cryptocurrencies could turn around and start going bullish again within the next week or two. So moving on to the stock market, there's some really interesting things that's going to happen. First of all, we have a lot of things that we have to think about and consider when it comes to how the stock market is going to be affected here in 2022. Very short term, this week we do have the jobs reports for December coming out at the end of this week on Friday. Next week we have the CPI inflation numbers, and then at the end of this month on January, I believe 25th, 26th, we have the Fed meeting, and that is when we will hopefully get an update on any rise in interest rates. Now hopefully we don't get an update, we just hear more of the same. So here's kind of what I expect. First of all, in general, January and February are two of the best months out of the year for the stock market, followed by April and then December. So just keep that in mind, that January and February, two of the best months. March is usually a down month, and then April's the last big green month before we kind of go flat for the rest of the year. However, this year is going to be a little bit different because we do have rising interest rates that are going to start at some point this year. We don't know when. We just know they're going to start some point this year. Now, after January, the next Fed meeting is in March. So I personally believe that the first interest rate rise would occur in March. Keep in mind that the Fed is currently on track to complete their tapering, that is, stop all of their bond buying in February of this year. So if they continue on the same pace for January and make no changes, in February their bond buying will be complete, which will line them up perfectly to start raising interest rates at their March meeting. So if that is what happens, then I think it lines up with the historicals of the stock market as well, where we historically see a really big green January and February, followed by a down month in March. And that would line up with the Fed doing their first interest rate hike in March. So everything just lines up perfectly for a big red month in March, but first, a big green month in January and February. Now, going a little bit more short term than that, the Tesla delivery numbers were absolutely amazing. We'll talk more about that later in this video. But for now, just know that I do think that Tesla could single-handedly cause the entire stock market to rise throughout this entire week and possibly this entire month. And I'll explain more why later in the video when we get to Tesla specifically. But for now, just know that I think Tesla, Apple, a few of the large caps are really going to rise the markets here this week and this month. Now, the big question that a lot of retail investors want to know is, will small caps rebound? Is this finally the time to be jumping back into small caps and seeing all these stocks that everybody's been holding for 5-6 months, they're down 50-60%. Are we finally going to get a rebound on this? So here's my thoughts. First of all, we see a lot of tax loss harvesting in December. That is where people will sell a lot of their losing stocks in December, and they typically will wait 30 days and then buy them back due to the wash sale rule. So 30 days will occur, depending upon when people sold, at some point in January. Now the thing is, you need to have the cash to be able to buy the stocks. Now in the same way that people do tax loss harvesting, that is, they sell their losing stocks in December, people will do profit taking in January. And the reason is because of the way the U.S. tax law system works. If you sell a profitable stock in December, you immediately have to pay taxes on that. If you wait until January to sell a profitable stock, you can now use those profits for an entire year before you have to pay taxes on them the following year. So the best time to sell profitable stocks that you're up a lot on is in January. So what are the stocks that people are up a lot on? What are the stocks that ran up a ton last year? It was the large caps. It was your Tesla, your Apple, your Amazon, your Microsoft, all the large caps, all the stocks that pretty much control the indices. It's the large caps that have the high PE ratios, the highest PE ratios that we have seen since the dot-com bubble. And it is the small caps that are currently undervalued, or at the very least at a fair value. So in logic, we can assume that large caps are going to get sold off in January and February as people take profits, and that money is going to get moved into small caps that are currently undervalued, or at the very least a fair value. So that really bodes well for a sector rotation into the small caps and a great rebound in small cap stocks. However, big if. This year, like I said, it's going to be very, very different. So what's going on this year that's so different? Well, interest rate hikes. And here's the problem with interest rate hikes, is interest rate hikes are going to hit small cap, high growth stocks the hardest. The reason is because it's generally the small cap, high growth stocks that have the highest amount of debt with the least amount of cash on hand to kind of handle that debt and pay that debt off. So if the interest rates rise, and if the interest rate rise causes the debt from these small cap stocks to balloon and the interest rate, the payments get out of control, that's going to significantly hurt small cap's ability to continue to grow, and in some cases is even going to hurt the small cap stock's ability to stay in business. So here's what we need to look at, is if we do invest in small cap stocks, and if we do get a rebound in those, it's going to be very specific small cap stocks. And very specifically, it will be the small cap stocks that have zero debt and a large amount of cash. So what we're looking for are companies like CRSR that are profitable, that have very little debt. Companies like one I most recently talked about, SWISF. It doesn't have a lot of sales, but they have a huge amount of cash and no debt. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for the high growth small cap stocks with a lot of debt, with no debt and a lot of cash, or a lot of revenue, a lot of growth. So those are the kind of companies that are going to do the best. And in fact, Goldman Sachs last year said that during a bear market, which I do think we might get, during a bear market, it is the small cap, high growth stocks with no debt and a lot of cash that tend to perform the best, that tend to far outperform the market. So again, those are the stocks that I personally am going to be looking to invest in here in 2022. Small cap, high growth, high cash, no debt. Those are my requirements for investments in 2022. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Now, what about after this big run-up in January and February that I think we're going to get? What after we get all these new all-time highs? Then what? Well, March, I think we're going to go down as the Fed raises interest rates. And I think that is going to kickstart the bear market. And I think from March through November, we are going to see a downturn in the markets. Now, here's what that's going to look like. If you've never experienced a bear market before, it is not like the March 2020 crash. In March 2020, that was a stock market crash. Something that happens once every 30 to 40 years. It happened in the 1930s, it happened one time in 1980s, and it happened one time in 2020, and that was it, right? Literally, it happens once every 30 to 40 years. A crash is a drop of more than 20% that is very rapid, happens within a day to a month, and the recovery is just as rapid. The recovery will happen within 1 or 2 months, and that's exactly what we saw in March of 2020. That was a crash, it was not a bear market. A bear market will last anywhere from 3 months to 18 months, and it is slow and it is painful because you never know when the market's going to bottom out. Every single time you think it can't go any lower, it will turn around, stomp you in the face, and just keep going lower. Bear markets are known for having these 2 to 3 weeks in a row where they go up and all the technicals turn bullish and you think this is it, this is the end. And then they turn around and start going back down again and they reach a new all-time low. And it is just brutal. So just know that bear markets are extremely, extremely difficult to trade in. It is extremely difficult to make money in a bear market unless you are day trading. The best way to make money in a bear market is to find the stocks that have the best potential to rebound and then buy those and then hold them. As Larry Jones said, millionaires are made in bull markets, billionaires are made in bear markets. And the reason is a bear market will provide tremendous opportunities to buy stocks really, really cheap. But you've got to be patient and you've got to hold no matter how low they go. You got to find the stocks that you have really high conviction on, not just what some YouTuber talks about, one that you personally have a really high conviction on. You buy it, you hold it, you don't let go. That is the key to a bear market. You cannot be swayed by all the ups and downs. It will drive you insane. But anyway, that's all. Like I said, I don't think we're going to get into that until March. For now, January, February, let's just focus on the end of the bull market. Let's focus on hitting new all-time highs, and let's just focus on making a lot of money before we switch gears in March. All right. I hope that helps you guys out as far as what to prepare for 2022 and what I'm going to be doing. Now let's get into the individual stock picks. For those of you guys who are new to this channel, my name is Stock Curry. I used to work as an analyst for some large investment banks, and now I analyze stocks for you. Every day I spend hours and hours watching videos from the top finance channels, and then I consolidate all of their stock picks and I put them together into a single video. I give you both the cliff notes on their stock picks as well as my analysis on their stock picks. Now, if anything I talk about today piques your interest, make sure you listen to who I say talked about that stock and then go watch their video to get the full details on what they said. Now, all I ask for putting all of this together for you guys is that you hit that like button, subscribe, and follow the page so that you can get notified when I release my next video. In fact, I'll give you 5 seconds to do that right now. All right, before we get into today's stock and crypto picks, I do want to remind you that I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I talk about today is a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold. These are just my opinions, which may or may not be accurate. Please do your own research before investing in any assets. If you're wondering what you're looking at right now, this is the Webull desktop app. Webull is the app that I use for my trading, and it is also the app that I use in all of my videos. If you'd like to get 2 free stocks worth up to $3,300, you can sign up for Webull using my link in the description below. When you sign up for Webull using my link in the description below and deposit just $1, Webull will send you 2 free stocks worth up to $3,300. All right, let's get into today's stock and crypto picks. And first up is CRO. This is Crypto.com coin. Keen and Grace let us know that Crypto.com is working to differentiate themselves as the reliable source when it comes to cryptocurrencies. They continue to bash CoinMarketCap on Twitter and in the media, and they are working on removing CoinMarketCap from their price feed, which Crypto.com calls unreliable. As a result of Crypto.com differentiating themselves as the one reliable source when it comes to cryptocurrencies, Keen and Grace said he will be buying CRO this year, but not necessarily at this price. Keen and Grace said he can see CRO getting back to 80 cents, but he is being patient. Keen and Grace plans to hold CRO for the long term, and this is not a short-term swing trade for him. CRO is also the one coin that I am considering buying right now, as it is the only coin I'm watching that is still trending upward. And next up is NIO. This is NIO, and they're a Chinese EV manufacturer. StockMo gave his new price prediction for NIO for 2022. NIO finished 2021 down 40% on the year. StockMo thinks NIO should be between $80 to $100 a share right now, but he said they're not due to all of the China FUD and the supply chain issues. So StockMo now expects NIO to rise between 50 to 100% this year. Regarding NIO's Q4 delivery numbers, NIO expected to deliver between 23,500 and 25,500 vehicles in Q4. Their actual delivery numbers came in at 25,034 for Q4, which was on the high end of NIO's expectations. That represents a 44% year-over-year increase and the 7th quarter in a row of positive growth. In 2022, NIO should be able to increase deliveries as the JAC facility goes to double shifts and the NIO Park comes online. Last year, NIO delivered 91,429 vehicles, a 109% increase over 2020. StockMo expects NIO to deliver around 150,000 vehicles this year, with a gradual ramp up to over 500,000 vehicles in 2025. That would put the price of NIO at around $300 per share by the end of 2025. Currently, the average analyst one-year price target is $72.33, which represents a 128% upside potential for NIO. But I do expect these numbers to change this week as analysts update their price targets based upon NIO's December delivery numbers. Next up is TSLA. This is Tesla, and they're an American EV manufacturer. Quite a few finance channels talked about how Tesla just crushed their delivery numbers. Tesla delivered 308,600 vehicles in Q4 of 2021, beating their previous single quarter record, as well as beating analyst expectations of 267,000 vehicles by a whopping 15%. For the full year, TSLA delivered 936,172 vehicles, which was an 87% increase over 2020 and a 4% increase over analyst expectations. Based upon those delivery numbers, Jeremy with Financial Education thinks TSLA just smashed their revenue forecasts. TSLA is currently expected to increase sales by 40 to 50% year over year, but it now looks like they're going to increase sales by 60 to 70% year over year. So expect a sharp rise in the share price of TSLA on Monday. Further, we can expect to see some analyst upgrades during the week, which will put further upward pressure on TSLA. And over the next couple of weeks, if TSLA continues to rise, that could further cause a gamma squeeze on the options, which will put further upward pressure on the stock price as the monthly options expiration date of January 21 approaches. For those reasons, Jeremy with Financial Education thinks TSLA will hit a new all-time high this month. And Keenan Grace took it a step further and said TSLA will make millionaires this year. Don't forget that Elon Musk, the guy who said TSLA was priced too high last year, also said TSLA would get to $3,000 if they execute really well. And there's no doubt that they are executing really well. Oh, and Tom Nash and Keenan Grace both reminded us that TSLA crushed their delivery numbers in a time period where we are still dealing with a worldwide chip shortage. Now, despite the fact that everybody expects TSLA to rise on Monday, as well as this week and this month, Keenan Grace said to be patient and a dollar cost average into TSLA. You don't want to get FOMO and pay too much for the stock. Meet Kevin is very, very conservative on TSLA, and he gave an updated 4-year price target of $2,000. Now, that is based upon growth slowing and the PE ratio dropping from 175 all the way down to 100 to correspond with the slowdown in growth. So we'll have to see if Meet Kevin's right, but so far, all of his predictions have been severely undervalued. Now, looking at the technicals real fast, we can see that TSLA was trending down over the past couple of weeks. But if TSLA rises on Monday and this week, it is going to form what is called a breakout, which means it's going to break out of this downward trend, which means it will be on a new bull run, on its way to a new all-time high. So it is nothing but bullishness for TSLA on Monday, this week, and this month. And because TSLA is such a heavy weight of the S&P and the NASDAQ, that will no doubt cause the S&P, the NASDAQ, the entire market overall to rise tomorrow, this week, and this month. So expect big things for Tesla and big things for the market. This is going to be an awesome week for Tesla and an awesome week for the markets. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video and get a lot out of it. Comment down below what your favorite stock pick is. And I do want to let you know that we're making a few slight changes to the channel here. I am going to be releasing these videos a lot earlier than I have been in the past. And in order to do that, there are a couple of YouTubers that release their videos very late at night that I'm just not able to cover in these videos anymore. So I've unfortunately had to drop 2 YouTubers. The 2 YouTubers that I've had to drop because they are releasing their videos so late at night are Chris Sane and ZipTrader. Now I know ZipTrader is an awesome YouTuber. He's probably one of the best YouTubers on YouTube. And I know you're going to miss him tremendously in these videos. I am still subscribed to him. I will continue to watch his videos. I just can't get his content into this video early enough because he will be releasing his video after I produce this video. So for that reason, I strongly recommend that you go watch ZipTrader, that you go subscribe to ZipTrader. Go subscribe to his channel, click the bell icon, click all, go watch his videos every single night. So come watch me and then go watch ZipTrader. So please don't miss him. He's an amazing YouTuber. Please go subscribe to ZipTrader and make sure you're watching his videos. Now, I do want to let you know that I did add 2 YouTubers that do post a lot earlier in the day. So the 2 YouTubers I added are Meet Kevin and Joseph Hoke. So I will be covering those 2 YouTubers from now on. Alright, if you're looking for a broker to trade with, you can sign up for Webull using my link in the description below. When you sign up using my link in the description below and deposit just $100, Webull's going to send you 2 free stocks worth up to $2,300. Now, if you're not a U.S. resident or if you're looking to trade OTC penny stocks, then I do recommend Interactive Brokers. Interactive Brokers is by far the best trading platform for non-U.S. residents. Trades start at just $1 US, $1 Canadian dollar, 4 euros, or 6 Australian dollars, depending upon where you live. And both Webull and Interactive Brokers both offer the full pre-market and after hours trading from 4 a.m. until 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I do want to remind you that I have material connections with both of those, so whenever you sign up for either one, not only are you getting a great broker to trade with, you're also helping me to continue to produce these great videos. Now, finally, I want to remind you to hit that like button, subscribe, and follow the page if you haven't already. I hope you have a lot of success trading, and I will see you tomorrow.